Speaking task. Hirevue practice attempt 1.
Practice.
1. Tell me about yourself.
Okay, my name is Renato. I'm married, I have 2 children. I live in Brazil, south of Brazil, Novo Hamburgo city. I'm a pilot. I've been a pilot since I was 17 years old, so I'm a pilot for 32 years. I've been working as a jet pilot in an airline since I was 24, so I complete 25 years this year. I've been flying several types of jet aircraft since Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, and I'm flying today. Nowadays, I'm flying Airbus aircraft. I'm looking for growth, professional growth, and look to fly to all around the world as well, and to provide more education to my family and a good way of life to them.
2. Why do you want to be a pilot?
I think I was at first motivated by my grandpa. I used to fly with him since I was, I think, 5 years old. I was very young, and all the concern in the airplane was attractive for me at first. I could give like the noise, I like the smell of the airplane, most the feeling of freedom. And I think nowadays what I think is more attractive for me is the state of art of engineering. I like very much to find a piece of art of engineering with a lot of technologies, and the feeling that I can reach any part of the world, and the responsibility to take care of such a big airplane and to take care of my crew as well.
3. Why do you want to work for Emirates?
Emirates for me, since I had the first contact when I was traveling abroad, always inspired me a feeling of confidence, reliability, luxury, modern. Always like to see their aircraft. They seem to be the most advanced aircraft we have nowadays. So I think the Emirates always invested a lot in their crew. I like this because I could see a continued growth, a great experience in studying a lot and to access such a new technology, and with a lot of people all around the world with a multicultural environment. So I think everything is so attractive for me. I think it's a good way to retire. It's a good airline to stop one day.
4. What do you know about Emirates?
Emirates was the first one to start a very long haul flights. Have the one of the biggest wide body fleets. We have the biggest fleets of A380s and the Boeing 777. For me, they are the best airplanes we have nowadays, with the most technology and reliability we can achieve. I know we have the A350, the last one that Emirates has bought. I'd like to fly this kind of airplanes, and I'd like to reach all around the world. As I said before, I think Emirates reached all the 6 continent. And I think it would be a very good experience for me.
5. What are your greatest strengths?
I think I like to work in teams. I'm a very empathized person. I like to share my knowledge a lot. I like to learn a lot with other experiences, with other guys. So I like to interact with multicultural people because they always have different views from some problems. It's very nice to know that different cultures could see the same problem in different ways. I think I like to continue developing my pilot skills as well. And I love to instruct students, like to share my knowledge. I like to see them developing and growing with their experience.
6. What are your greatest weaknesses?
I think my great weakness is I'm a very empathized person. Sometimes I get frustrated with my students because they can't achieve the level that we expect. So I start to motivate them a lot, and then I start to spend a lot of energy. I get sometimes frustrated because I want them to succeed a lot. I want very much them to succeed. But sometimes I have to see that aviation is not for everyone. Someone have to accept this. So it's very challenging for me. As I like to teach, it's very challenging to me to accept that sometimes people can achieve the level that we're expecting.
7. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope to see me as a captain Boeing Airbus A380 or Boeing 777 from Emirates. I think it's a good way to be, as I think I will achieve a very high level, and I will access a lot of knowledge, as Emirates could provide a lot of how can I say, a lot of not knowledge, but as Emirates invests a lot in their crew, so I think I could achieve a higher level. So I think in 5 years I could see me as a great captain for so great airline.
8. What are your hobbies and interests outside of aviation?
Outside of aviation, I like to take care of my family at first, but I like to do exercise at the gym. I like to gym a lot because I'm getting old, so I have to take care of myself. I like cars a lot. As I said, I like to interact with engineering. I like the top of arts of cars, as airplane as well. I like to interact with computers as well and technology. I think and I like to see movies because movies is straight related with technology as well.
9. How do you handle stress and pressure?
I think my profession is very stressful, so I have to minimize with studies and to be prepared, to feel more confident. And when situations happen, we have to have at least the basic knowledge. More knowledge we have, more confident we'll be. So to minimize the stress, I think the best way is to study a lot and to share your knowledge. And when I'm very stressful, I used to ask for some opinion, for my crew opinion. to reach the best answer to solve the problem.
10. Describe your ideal work environment.
Describe your idea of what?
Working environment.
Describe my idea of work environment. I think our work environment has to be very light. We have to avoid all kind of stress as we can, because so we can think in a very clear way. I think the sharing, the knowledge sharing and the conversation is very welcome, because we have to interact with all the crew to reach the same opinion about a problem, to solve this problem. So I try to, as a captain nowadays, I try to make my environment very light and make everybody participate with the questions involved with the problem. I think that is.
11. Tell me about the time you had to work effectively as part of a team.
Okay. I can give my last example. I had a passenger board and bridge issue at São Paulo, and this passenger bridge had broken, so I had to talk with my crew, which will be the best way to solve this problem. I have to call my crew person to minimize the problem with the passenger, making a good speech. I could trust in him, and I use my first officer to contact the airport authorities and the ground staff to reach the best solution and the faster solution to get this problem solved. I think that's it.
12. Describe a time you had to learn something new quickly.
That's a problem. I was thinking. How can I say that? There is once I got a problem with a fast seatbelt sign switch. It was not working properly. Actually, it's not working at all. So I have to call the maintenance. We together we got a common opinion to solve the problem. We found on the manual, on the minimum equipment list, that we can dispatch the aircraft with all fasten belt signs inoperative. That was very new for me, because I didn't know. I was just focusing on the switching, fast belt switching, and I couldn't see this problem as the maintenance saw. So we used this dispatch to dispatch the aircraft. So we dispatch aircraft with all fasten seat belt signs inoperative. So I have to use my speech to warn the crew. And to alert the crew when we face such things as bad weather, I use my microphone to advise them.
13. Give an example of a time you had to solve a difficult problem.
A difficult problem. There was once I was flying, coming from Bolivia to São Paulo during the night. I was flying on Boeing 737, and at that time my APU, auxiliary power unit, was inoperative, so I had just two AC source generators. During the flight, we lost both engine generators, so we lost all AC power. The aircraft remained at DC power. And we had to figure out what we have to do, because the manual didn't predict this kind of failure, and we follow all the procedure, but we didn't solve. So suddenly I tried to disengage manually the generator, the engine one generator, and so the problem suddenly was solved as the engine two generator take over, and so you could continue flying till São Paulo.
14. Tell me about the time you made a mistake. What did you learn from it?
There was a time I was very young, first officer. Yeah, I was very confident as well. And my captain was very late to, he called me and asked me to prepare the aircraft. It's going to be late to fly. And so I took all the procedures to get prepared as fast as I can. And I was a little bit arrogant because as we are going to fly to a city that was just 30 minutes from Rio, we are going to São Paulo. I didn't check the weather as we were on a very sunny day. It was during summer, so we took off. We took off without checking the weather. And when we arrived at São Paulo, we faced a very cold front, a squall line, may I say. And so, as we were not prepared to face that kind of bad weather, we had to divert, and so returned to Rio de Janeiro again. And from that moment, I learned that when everything seems is okay, everything seems to be a very easy flight, simple flight, is there where there is a trap, so we have to be prepared for everything. We have always to consider the best, the worst option, and we have to be prepared for everything.
15. Describe a situation where you had to communicate complex information clearly.
There was once I have to inform a passenger that during a flight to Chile, I have all high staff from my company flying with me to Chile, and we have a situation during the departing at stand, and we have a boarding bridge broken, and I have to explain them what is happening and try to explain the problem, and that the responsibility was not from the company, it was from the airport. At the beginning it was very hard, but I could explain and the passengers stay calm all the way down.
16. Tell me about the time you had to deal with a difficult Corico customer.
There was once I was flying to Curitiba, from Curitiba to Porto Alegre. I was advised that there was a passenger that was listening to his movie in a very loud volume, and they asked him to lower the sound. It was very high, and it was annoying all the other passengers. So he started to discuss with the passengers and the cabin crew, and I suggest them to change the cabin crew to talk to him again, and it was 4 persons to talk to him, and he didn't do anything. So as the flight was very short, I think it was around 40 minutes. I coordinate with my flight crew person to call the police when I arrived at the airport to talk with this passenger. So when I arrived at Porto Alegre, I contacted federal police, and the federal police talked to me, went until this passenger and conducted him to take out of the airplane.
"17. Give an example of a time you had to go above and beyond your duties."
There was one time, I think I could use this example. It was very early in the morning. I think it was like 3 or 4 a.m. It was very cold weather, and I was arriving. Actually, I was looking for my boarding gate, and then there was a couple that asked for me for some information. And when I realized this couple, the husband was a blind guy, and I could feel the wife's tension. So I suggested her to follow me, and I conducted them until their boarding gate, and I tried to calm them down, and they thanked me a lot. I think it's one way to conduct your passenger and to give some special attention. This is not my responsibility, but I think in that way I have to consider to help them, because they looked very attention and very worried. It was just 4 a.m. in the morning. I could imagine how I could end what could end this day for them. So I tried to help them a lot.
18. Describe a time you had to adapt to a sudden change in plans.
Suddenly changed plans. That's a problem. I have to think. There was a lot of options. Let me see. Okay, there was once I was coming to São Paulo, Brasilia to São Paulo, and when I arrived at São Paulo, there was a very hard squall line at São Paulo with very strong winds. The airports, anyone didn't expect that the airports will be closed. Suddenly we closed the airport due to strong winds. It's very rare in Brazil to happen this kind of stuff. So I decided to divert to Curitiba, as I had a lot of fuel. I chose to divert at first, because I thought that everybody's going to divert at the same time with low fuel. So I took I was the first to divert. And so everybody started to divert as well to Curitiba or Campinas airport. And it was good because I could take a good stand to stay and to calm down the passenger and to get fueled again to return to São Paulo.
19. Tell me about the time you had to motivate yourself to complete a challenging task.
There was once during a flight simulator session. My first officer was a very new guy. He didn't have a good experience. He was very nervous, and so he started to do a little mistakes, and I could see that could affect my flight, and so I had to, during the days, I take this guy to study with me, and I have to, how can I explain this? I start to thinking, this guy is very weak. He didn't study a lot. Is not a guy that I could count there. But I start to think, if it was in a real life, and I got I was flying and I have suddenly problem to solve, I have to count with this guy. So that's what I have now. So I have to find a way to motivate this guy, to help him to be calm, to study, and to see the procedures in a right way to help me to reach the airport with safety. And suddenly we start to work together as a crew member and a team. And in the end, it was very nice. And the flight simulator instructor congratulated us. So I think it was achieved not just for me, but for him too, because he started to be more confident and he started to see everything clearly, and he became a very good pilot as well. Very hard this day. Was
20. Describe a situation where you had to follow strict procedures. Why was it important? 21.
How could I use as an example? During approach to Manaus, it's airport surrounded by rainforest. So we used to have a lot of thunderstorm cells. And so we are approaching during a thunderstorm with a lot of cells around the airport. And the runway was changed once. And during approach was reported a moderate rain. And in short final, the tower report heavy rain. So we have to discontinue the approach. And we started going around and I asked to hold to troubleshooting, and then asked for more information about my alternate airport, and it was very nice. The airport was in a very good weather, so I asked to divert. And when I was reaching my cruise level, Manaus asked me to go back again because it was the thunderstorm was over. Yeah, and then I could complete the approach safely approach. So I returned to Manaus and complete the land safely.
21. Imagine you notice your captain making a minor procedural error. What would you do?
Sometimes it happens, so I have to show him. At first, I like to ask him if he's seeing the same problem as I am seeing. So I like to interact at first to see, because sometimes he's doing something he's not actually realize that he's doing something wrong. So I start to show him what is the correct way, and asking him about why you are doing this in this way. So I think the first step is to try to understand and to discuss, to achieve a common opinion, and to show him what is the correct way. I think that's the way. We have to at first to talk, discuss, and after we can show them the correct way. So that's why we have to know all the basics and the procedures. We have to be prepared to show and to help our colleagues.
22. You are the first officer and the captain becomes incapacitated during a critical phase of flight. What are your immediate actions?
It depends on the phase of flight, but at first we have to call the crew person to to help this colleague, and then I have to contact my airline, inform them what's happening, and ask the crew person to look for a physician, a doctor, or if there is another pilot flying with us to help me. And then I have to inform the ATC that what's happening, and then I have to declare urgency to have priority to land, as I'm the only pilot that's flying the aircraft. That's it.
23. During a pre-flight inspection, you discover a maintenance issue that could delay the flight. How would you handle the situation?
Okay, I used to take pictures what I find during the walk around, what I find, what I think it's not in a correct way, so I take pictures, and then I ask the maintenance to help me, and ask him to show me in the manuals where is the procedure, and I used to show the photos, the pictures as well. If there is something that affecting my takeoff, so that I stop everything I'm doing and wait for a solution. Yeah.
24. A passenger becomes disruptive mid-flight. What steps would you take?
It depends. At first, I like to change the person that is dealing with the problem. So I change the person. If there is no way to minimize the problem, I start to look for a suitable airport to land with great facilities to help us. So I start to contact the controller to divert, to land this aircraft, to disembark this disruptive passenger. And I usually ask for some policy help.
25. You are flying in challenging weather conditions that were not in the forecast. What is your course of action?
Okay, at first I check my fuel time, because time is essential when we're flying. When we don't expect some situation, we don't have enough time, as we don't have enough fuel to deal with this. So I start to look for some alternates, if these alternates are suitable or not. If you have too much time for deviating, for example, I would consider the destination condition. If the destination is like very good weather, like sky clear, or very good weather, I proceed to destination, like we used to say, commit to land, with no alternatives. Because if the airport is suitable, like we have more than one runway to land, like 4 runways or 3 runways to land, so I could proceed to land, and I can spend this fuel till the destination, and then I will use the alternate fuel, because I was committed to land in this airport.
26. Tell me about the time your leadership skills were tested. What was the outcome?
Okay, there was once that my crew person had an issue, and he didn't say anything to me. It happened the day before, so when I arrived on the next day, he told me what happened the last flight, and I didn't like that. because I was supposed to be the first one to be advised or to be noticed about the problem. As a captain, I have to find a way to surround the problem, to solve this problem. And as he hid this problem, I think it was not very safe. So I had to advise him and reorient. I don't know how could say. I advise him and teach him the correct way to face this problem. And I had to contact his leader. I had to tell him. I had to tell him what happened during the flight because for me it was a safety issue. I report this guy. That's the truth.
27. How would you handle a situation where you have a disagreement with your captain about a non-safety critical operational matter?
As I said before, at first we have to discuss and to talk to reach the same solution. If he is still considering doing something wrong, I would ask help from another captain that will fly with us. As we used to fly aircraft with more than one captain, and I try to explain what's happening. And my first act is not to permit him to do something wrong, something that could put safety in jeopardize. So I would took the control of the aircraft and fly in a safe way.
28. Describe a time you had to make a quick decision with incomplete information.
Oh. Okay, there was once I was flying to Marabá airport. I was flying from Brazil to Marabá during the night, and suddenly I got a battery issue. A320, it was an A320, and I got a battery charge limit problem. So I followed the procedure as they can warn me, and then I started to look for more information in the manuals as I had time for that, and suddenly I read the minimum equipment list. I know the minimum equipment list you have to check just during the ground, but I was preparing what the action before landing, as it's a very poor airport. We don't have much resource, so I was preparing for the worst at that airport. Then I contact the ground staff, and the ground staff informed me that they have the ground power unit and the low pressure unit as well to start the engine without APU, because the minimum equipment list was saying that I could use the auxiliary power unit anymore. I could start. So after landed, I did shut down the engine, because somehow I could say why I could trust in that information. And then I waited until the maintenance contact me, and when the maintenance contact me, for my surprise, there was no low pressure unit in that airport, so I couldn't start the engine again if I had cut off the engine. So we start to disembark in board procedure with one engine running. That was very stressful.
29. Emirates places a strong emphasis on customer service. How would you contribute to a positive passenger experience from the cockpit?
I think in somehow I could bring the passenger near from the cockpit, providing him with a lot of information, what's happening, what we're going to face, and try to minimize the turbulence, for example, give them a lot of information that is something natural, and try to explain that there is not anything not is going to happen, nothing wrong is going to happen, and this tried to show them that the crew was expecting that, the crew was preparing for that, and I can provide a lot of information about the cities that we are flying over, and try to be nice and try to be cordial with them at the same time.
30. What does professionalism mean to you as a pilot, and how would you demonstrate it in your daily work at Emirates?
I think at first a professional pilot has to be prepared for all issues. So we have to study a lot, we have to follow the procedures, we have to be preparing for the flight simulator. I think the professional pilot has somehow to like to interact the flight simulator. It's a very important tool to test your capabilities and to feel more confident. So I think the first step is to study and to be prepared to face a very good flight simulator session. That's a way to reach higher levels of confidentiality. Is that right? Confidentiality. I think that's the way to be professional. You have to study, to have to know all the procedures. You have to be prepared for the situation, for every situation you can expect.